welcome to my channel. I'm Reni, as many of you know. Welcome. And I have a guest on my channel today. Her name's Crystal.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking about first-time home buying and our process through buying our first homes. She has 2 homes actually. I got a lot of questions on my Instagram because I just purchased my first home and it closed last week. I'm very excited and we're going to be answering a few of your questions today. So first we'll just start off with an introduction of how we bought our first homes and then we'll go from there. So I am 23 years old and I live at home rent-free with my parents. So I am really blessed to be able to have low expenses right now. So I thought, well, right now I'm stacking my money. I've been stacking my money since I was 18. So it's a good time to purchase my first property. And I bought it. I live in the GTA, but I decided to purchase my property in London, Ontario, which is an hour and a half outside of where I live. And I'm renting it out to tenants right now.
So I am Crystal, like she said. I am 30 years old. I inherited my first property when I was 25. And then I bought my second property when I was 28. It was something that I was forced into because my living situation was switching up. So I had to find a place really quickly. Thank God I had been saving up and I did have some money to be able to do that, and I did purchase it with my sister, so she was able to help contribute as well.
We also answered some questions on Crystal's channel, so I'll link it below, and yeah, you can look at the other questions that we answered. So first question that we got was, how did you choose the location and price point that you wanted to buy at?
The factors I was looking into was 1, the city. I love the city of Mississauga. 2, proximity to my work, because I didn't want a long commute. So those were the areas, and proximity to my sister's school as well. Price point, I was thinking of, the only thing that was thinking in my mind, because a lot of people make the mistake of, and they're looking at just the price of the house and be like, oh, okay, this is something I can afford, or this is down payment is something I can afford. But I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at what would my mortgage be every month. That was the only thing that was that was the only thing that was going on in my mind. What would my mortgage be every month? Because I'm not trying to struggle. I'm not trying to live paycheck to paycheck or be struggling every month to make up the mortgage. There were certain things that we were looking at, we wanted 2 washrooms, we needed a 2-car parking space. So there were certain things that we were looking at, which this is why also process took a long time to find all that stuff within our price range within the GTA. Was not easy, but like I said, God opened up a door.
I think mine's a bit different because obviously I wasn't living here. Obviously when I'm looking to buy a house that I'm living in, it has to be in the GTA. I'm not trying to move to London, honestly. I could not afford to live in to purchase a house in the GTA, though the rent would be higher. It just didn't make much sense. You probably wouldn't be cash flow positive after paying your mortgage each month. So I was looking for outside the GTA, which was more affordable. These are regions that are coming up in Ontario. The house has already risen by 18% since I purchased it a year ago. In a few years, it'll probably be way more. So it matters how it looks, but it matters that you'll get a return on your investment, basically, because you're not living there.
And I will say, I'll add to that, although we bought a condo, I think it is better to buy a house, because the value will appreciate faster. That's true. So because I already have a house, that's why I was it's okay for us to buy a condo. If I didn't have a house, I'd be trying to probably push more to look for a house, just because the value appreciates way faster.
I also looked for, mine's also a condominium, but it's a townhouse. So I looked for a condominium because as a landlord, you want as little work to do as possible. So the roof and the driveway and the grass, shoveling snow, all of that stuff is covered by the condo board. So I pay a condo fee to them every month, and then it's covered by that. They
take care of all that, exactly.
Okay. Next question we got was, do you need to use a real estate agent?
I don't think you need to, but I advise it.
Same. They know more than you, and there's no cost to using a real estate agent.
Exactly.
They get paid off of a percentage of the sale of the house. So there's no, you should get one. There's no harm.
We have access to a whole bunch of information that you may not have as just a regular buyer. They have access to different data bases, such as the type of area that you're looking to purchase. They can pull up certain things like the schools in that area, the crime rates in that area, They would know more about certain builders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just know more information than you. So they're an expert that's at your disposal, and you don't even have to pay them.
Just get a reputable one,
Yes.
one that's actually, cares about you moving into a place that suits your lifestyle. Because some real estate agents, because they just want to make a sale, they'll just try to sell you anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure you get one that is, recommended, that actually cares about moving you into a place that will suit your lifestyle.
The next question was, is a pre-construction smart? So if you don't know, pre-construction is when you put your deposit on a property, but it is not yet built. I personally bought a pre-construction. I think that there is definitely some value in it, especially if you're still saving for your down payment. You only have to put down the deposit. So say your deposit is $10K that you need to put down. You put that down to secure your place, but then they may not close for 1 year. In Toronto, they're doing pre-construction for 2, 3, 4 years out. So it allows you time to actually save to do the down payment.
Reni's case, it makes sense because, like she said earlier, that she's living right now rent-free with her parents. So she's funneling her income towards paying the monthly
the down payment.
The down payment versus like someone like me, it wouldn't have made sense because I wasn't living rent-free.
Yeah.
So I would have to be paying still my rent where I was living at. Plus, like I was living with my aunt at the time, I would still have to be paying that part of the mortgage plus paying for the down payment.
Yeah.
So unless you have the income to do both, probably wouldn't be practical.
How did you choose which mortgage type to use, variable or fixed? I chose a variable mortgage. Right now, interest rates are going down, and they have been going down for the past 6 months. So we're kind of in a recession, I would say. For me, I was like, okay, it makes sense. My interest rate is very, very low. It made sense for me to do variable, and you can lock it in at any time. So you can say, okay, this is the rate that the fixed rate is at right now. I see that it's going back up, so let me just lock in this rate, and it'll be that rate for the next 5 years. There's no, if you want to be safe, of course, do a fixed mortgage rate. They're also very low.
So we did fix but we only did fix for 3 years. Because at the time that I bought, we obviously didn't see all this coming.
Yeah.
So, and then I was also thinking about the fact that I don't know what my sister's income would be at the time. Let's just lock it in for 3 years because I know she's supposed to be in school for another 3 years. So at least that way afterwards, then you can look at it again. Really have to look at your situation at that time when you're making the decision.
What percentage of down payment do you suggest? In Ontario, you can do 5% down payment. I decided to do 20% down payment simply because that's what I saved up. I already had that money, so I might as well put it down.
Yeah.
And you're paying less interest over time the more down payment that you put.
I mean, if you have to put down 5%, then do that. But I would recommend you put down more, especially I think 20% or over, you waive. There's a fee like CHM. Yeah.
CMHC, yeah.
There's a fee that you would pay if you pay less than 20%. As soon as you pay 20% or more, that fee gets waived.
Yeah,
so we paid, I think we did either 25 or 30% down payment. I was also thinking I don't want my mortgage to be high. That was in my head. I'm like, the first thing when I went to my my mortgage broker, I was just like, how much would I have to put down? How much would my interest rate be if I want to keep my mortgage under this amount per month?
Yeah.
And that's how I worked it. I'm
Just smart. You don't want to be in a situation, as you said, that you're going from paycheck to paycheck trying to pay off your mortgage.
Yeah.
It needs to be something you can afford comfortably.
We still want to live our lives, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You want to be able to travel, do things, and not worry about, okay, I can spend this much because my mortgage is so expensive. It's how did you find a good tenant? So we both have tenants in our properties.
Yeah.
I was in London, which is an hour and a half away. I couldn't actually meet each tenant in person, so I hired someone. You pay them a small fee, and they found me tenants. They do a credit check, a background check, and check all the references. So those are 3 things that you should do, because people can lie about anything.
Right.
I think the best thing to do is check references. A trick that my dad does, because my dad also owns a few properties. If the person wrote that they lived at 154 Dixie Road, for example, when he calls the past landlord, he'll say, okay, so I'm calling about someone who lived in your property at 153 Dixie Road. If they don't correct him, he knows that it's probably their friend that's trying to be their their fake landlord. Right. Caught a few people doing that. Wow. Yeah. So that's a good way to check if your tenants are being truthful.
That's a good trick.
Yeah.
That's a good trick. Yeah. I was looking for a family. I'm also looking for someone like that wants a long term. And if they're a good tenant, you would want them to be there long term. I need someone that has kids, especially young kids. They're less likely to want to uproot their family. Like every year and all that stuff, so that's also another thing to look into versus like a young couple that might be just looking just to rent there for a year, or students that might just be there for
especially
a couple months.
My rental property is in a student town, a university and a college there, so students were definitely an option, but we chose to stay away from students because of course they're going to stay for the semester and then go home for summer, so like it's not a long-term relationship, and also you have to take care of students basically. Oh, this is broken. Oh, this is broken. It is more profitable to go with students though, because you can charge per room and you're charging like much more than you could for the house. But honestly, do
you want the headache? You have to choose your battle.
Do you want to drive there all the time? No. So
headache or more money? Like you have to choose. I chose to not have a headache.
How many houses did you look at before you bought your house?
Too many. You looked at so many places because like I think I was alluding to earlier in the video, there's specific things that we needed. That's actually hard to find. A condo where you can have a 2-car garage, a 2-car parking spot. We wanted it also to be big enough. We wanted it not to be, I really didn't want it to be in Brampton, but this is like on the border of Brampton. A lot of things that I looked into.
I would say the same thing. I looked at a lot of them, but at first we were looking at houses that were already built because I had most of the down payment saved. So like I was looking at houses that were already built in Kitchener, in Waterloo, in Guelph. But the thing was, GTA buyers were coming in and bidding 20K over asking, 30K over asking. Wow. Honestly, I have no desire to be in a bidding war. So I cut that real quick and we're like, hey, maybe we should look at a pre-construction. There's no bidding war on that. House is gonna be brand new, so there's no extra maintenance costs that you're paying.
Right.
And
and that also just brings me to another point, like when you are ready to purchase, try as much as you can to just have your down payment ready because like she said, bidding wars. So you want to be able to, like, if you actually see a place that you love, you want to be able to put in the offer like right away and like be able to like have their down payment or have your mortgage or whatever ready. What would you say about getting a pre-approval? I think a pre-approval is good because
it shows you how much the bank will give you.
And it's good to like I said, like if you find a place, you can kind of just put in the offer right away versus where if you find a place and you don't have a mortgage yet, then you have to like, oh my gosh, okay, we have to go get the mortgage, and then you're hoping and praying that nobody else puts in the bid and you know what I'm saying?
A lot.
So
I almost put down a deposit on a place, but then there was only one parking spot. And then if you're thinking from a tenant, like renting it out point of view, if I'm trying to rent to a family, they probably have 2 cars. So like I'm probably gonna get a lower rent because so there's a lot of factors that went into actually deciding which house to purchase. So we looked at lots of houses. It took a long time, but we're here. Thank God.
It's rewarding at the end when you finally sign on the dotted line and you get your keys. And the lawyer hands over the keys. It's just like, oh my God, blessing. It's all worth it at the end. So don't give up.
Thank you, Crystal, for being on my channel. You can see part 2 on her channel. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.